Right, this is just a little bit of info I want to get to you guys who are using the RCX motors. Trying to get this address right. These brushless motors, the 2400 kV 1804 motors from RCX. What I've just noticed is I'm about to do some oiling my bearings on the motors, and I've noticed I'm beginning to get quite a lot of play, as you can see in the movement, the vertical movement of the shaft in the motor. Now I haven't been able to see any way in which you can get the shaft push back into the top. So it gotta be that those shafts are glued in. So if they're glued, eventually they really come right out. So I'm a little worried about that. Don't know if anyone else has had this problem with these RCX 1804 2400 kV motors. Mind you, they're working quite good. Don't have a problem with these motors on this mini quad, but I'm beginning to get a little bit worried about this. Anyhow, I'll strip it down and have a look and see what's going on. Now, I've taken this out. There's nowhere in there I can see anywhere in which the shaft can be pushed back in. I try pushing it, try tapping it, but I don't want to bend the shaft. Well, it seems to be quite solid. But what I've noticed as well is this. Have a look at this. So the windings, the stator, is beginning to move in the center shaft. The stator is coming up and coming away from the center. So I'll have to check all my motors now, see what's happening there. I don't know if you can see that. Camera adjust. Right. See that clear, that distance there, that gap. That it's raised to that height. This level should be the level of the center. It should be, well, almost like that. But this is coming right up. And it's twisting as well. And that's not nice. So I'll advise you guys who are using these RCX 1804 motors to check all your motors. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. What I'll probably have to do is put some glue inside here, some super glue, push it back down to paste it back in. And if you're going to do that, you have to make sure that you don't let any glue get onto the bearings, because if any glue get onto the bearings, that will seize your bearings and increase your problems. Anyhow, I'm gonna crack on with this. This is just a little bit of info just to let you guys see what's happening. Did you see how high it's raised there? It's hard for me to do this with just two hands, but I'm trying to so you can actually see. See, it's gone back down. See. And you don't want that to be happening in flight, because these motors do spin at some very high RPM, and the things that we're beginning to do with these little mini quads, we need these motors to be functioning the way they're designed to. I mean, I've been using this motor now. This motor is probably had about I would say total flight time probably about 1 hour. Let's say hour and a half. Yeah. So let's say about 90 minutes total flight time, if that much. But yeah, and this is what we end up with. Okay then, I'll end it here. So these are for the RCX. The RCX 1804 2400 kV brushless motors. Alright, bye. Right, what I've done, I've used some super glue and just use a toothpick to get a super glue around there. And once you get a super glue around, just press it back into place. So it's kind of difficult to show you guys, but do this at your own risk. But I'm just showing you what I have done. So we leave that to dry. If you can see that, good. Glue that back in there. Leave that to dry. Then I'll put the motor back together, lube it up, and put it back together.